Have you ever noticed how difficult experiences don't seem to stress some people as much as others? What these people have more of is something called resilience, the ability to bounce back after a tough experience or setback. And in this video, I want to discuss the mental habits of resilient people. I want to discuss how the resilient brain works so that we can all hopefully benefit from these insights, because resilience is not a fixed trait. It's a skill we can all learn to get good at. Hey everyone, and welcome here. I'm Maika, a psychologist, and this is Becoming an Expert at Self-Leadership, the channel dedicated to personal growth, inner strength, and fulfillment. Life doesn't come without its fair share of challenges, tough experiences, and small or large crises. These experiences influence us. They leave a mark on us. They trigger our bodies to excrete one or more stress hormones. But that's not all they do. Often challenges are what lies behind personal growth. Challenges teach us to tap into positivity even more and become strong and resilient. Hardships are inevitable, but we can choose what we make of them. And there are certain mental habits we can adopt that will allow us to process challenges adequately. So this isn't about repression, denial, or emotional disengagement. This is about mental habits that help us process things appropriately so that we can bounce back into our state of inner strength and positivity. What I'm about to share comes from a branch of psychology called positive psychology, which looks at what makes people flourish in life. Specifically, I want to share a brain imaging study with you that looked at the brain's activity in people who were more or less resilient while they were going through a mildly uncomfortable experience. So before their brains were scanned, these people filled out questionnaires which assessed their resilience levels. And after that, they were asked to look at many, many different pictures while lying in a brain scanner. Some of those pictures were neutral, like a picture of a chair or a light switch, and some of those pictures were unpleasant to look at, aversive, like a picture of a dirty toilet or a corpse. And before the pictures were shown to these people, they had cues, either a circle or a triangle. The circle was always followed by a neutral picture, whereas the triangle was followed either by an aversive or a neutral picture. That was 50-50. So over the course of the study, the people began to learn that a triangle was potentially worrisome because it might lead to an aversive picture. And while this was happening, it was observed what was going on in their brains. What was going on while they were shown the cue? How did the high or low resilient people react when they saw something that could potentially lead to a challenging experience? And how did their brain react while they were looking at those neutral or unpleasant pictures? And the researchers found two main differences in the brain's activity according to if someone is high or low in resilience. Number one, resilient people worry less. The first main difference that was found was during this cue phase. People higher in resilience had less activation in the OFC, the orbitofrontal cortex, which is a region in the brain that is associated with worrying, when they saw a triangle. Remember that a triangle has worry potential because it signals that in 50% of the cases, what the person would see next was an unpleasant picture. But people higher in resilience stayed more in the mode of let's wait and see. I don't know what it's going to be. It's a triangle, but I don't know if it's going to be neutral or unpleasant, what follows. So let me just wait and see instead of getting worked up over something that is uncertain. Their brains didn't signal threat when they weren't exposed to a threat yet. People lower in resilience, on the other hand, had higher activation in the OFC and the brain's worry circuits. They were quicker to jump into worries and catastrophizing. Their brains reacted with something like, oh no, a triangle. Who knows what's going to happen next? I hope it's not one of those unpleasant pictures. I don't like those unpleasant pictures. I don't want to see these pictures. And in that way, the brains of people lower in resilience were already a lot more worked up just from seeing the triangle. Number 2, resilient people are more emotionally agile. This was the second main difference in the brain's activity according to if someone was high or low in resilience that was found in the study. And this was found when looking at the brain's activity while the people were seeing the unpleasant pictures or while they were seeing the neutral pictures that followed a triangle. What they found here is that, number 1, no matter how resilient someone was, the brain's activity was the same when they saw these aversive pictures. So it's not that resilient people are emotionally disengaged or not as affected by challenges or discomfort. Resilience doesn't mean being aloof or disengaged. It means bouncing back after an aversive experience, not remaining stuck there. And that's what was easier for people with higher resilience in this study. When they saw the neutral picture after the triangle, this was actually the most interesting condition in this study. What the researchers were specifically interested in was to see how long it took the people's brains to recover from the potential worry of the triangle when they saw the neutral picture. Oh, it's just a chair. How long it took the brains to register that and calm down again. And interestingly enough, people higher in resilience were quicker to recover from seeing the triangle. They had a shorter insula response. The insula is connected to processing negative emotions. So their brains were easier to see, oh, it's okay, it's just a chair. Resilience makes it easier to see when things are going well, especially if we were nervous, if they would. And upon closer data analysis, the researchers also found that the length of the insula response was directly connected to the extent of worrying during the triangle phase. So the more someone worried, the longer they needed to recognize that they actually didn't have any reason to worry. So worrying makes it hard to see when things are going well, especially when something is unexpectedly going well or when it wasn't 100% sure, to calm back down and be like, oh, it's okay. So because of the way this study was set up, the researchers looked at the rebound of the brain after an anticipated negative event. And other studies have shown this quicker rebound, this emotional agility of resilient people, also after actual aversive events. For example, people with higher resilience come back quicker to a low blood pressure and relaxed blood vessels. And another study showed that this is directly connected to the extent that they are able to tap into positivity. So the core of what made the resilient people resilient was their ability to be positive alongside the negative or challenging experience. Resilience, again, doesn't mean to not be affected. Also, in those studies, the people were just as affected by the aversive events, but after it was over, they were better able to let it go, to leave that experience behind and tap back into their inner strength and positivity. This is why psychologists have concluded that the heart of resiliency is positivity. To be able to tap into our positivity alongside whatever it is that we're going through. You can do this by looking for aspects of the situation that are perhaps a challenge that is interesting, that'll help you grow. Or looking for things that you're grateful for, things that are going well despite whatever it is that you're going through. And that positivity is what will enable you to keep the bigger picture in mind, to be grateful, to see the good even if you didn't expect it to be there, to let go of worries, to stay strong and calm during hardships and then recover from them after. I've talked a lot about resiliency in this video and people who are highly or not so highly resilient. And I just want to emphasize again that resiliency is a skill that we can all learn to get good at. It's not that we're either born with a resilient brain or not. We can all train our brains to react the way the resilient brains reacted in this study. And the way we can do that is by regularly tapping into positivity and generating positive emotions in ourselves. If you want to learn more about how to do that, check out my video on positive emotions. I hope you got something from this. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, share it with your friends, say hi in the comment section. Consider subscribing if you're new here. Till next time, take care and remember to tap into your positivity regularly so you can benefit from these two qualities of the resilient brain.